Good morning students, welcome. I am Nafiza, your social science teacher. Today we are starting new topic manufacturing industries from geography. In this lesson, first we will discuss the definition of industry, the significance or importance of industry, and then classification of industries. Then we will discuss different types of industries like iron and steel, fertilizers, cement, cotton, jute, electronics, automobile, sugar and aluminium. Finally we'll conclude the lesson with industrial pollution. First, let us discuss about the significance of definition of manufacturing and then the significance of manufacturing. Let's start the topic manufacturing industries. First, we started with a small story to give a basic introduction of industry. So here they have said that on the occasion of Diwali, Harish along with his parents went to market, and there he has seen the shoes, clothes. They have purchased shoes, clothes, and mother purchased utensils, sugar, tea, and diyas. Harish observed all these things and he thought that how these many products have come into the market. He wondered how these many items are have reached the market. Then his father explained him that shoes, clothes, and sugar, are manufactured in large industries, whereas some utensils like plates, spoon, glasses, they are manufactured in small industries, whereas diyas are made by individual artisans in household industry known as cottage industry. I think you have got the three types of industry: cottage industry, small scale industry and large scale industry. Followed by a question, do you have some ideas about these industries? You have already discussed it in your lower classes, three types of industries. This is the one. So now comes the definition of industry. What is meant by industry? Production of goods in large quantities. Production in large quantities. Mills or industries, machines have the capability to produce the things in large quantities. So first keyword, production in large quantity. Second keyword, processing. Processing from what? From raw material to finished product. Suppose if we take sugar, from where do we get sugar? From sugar cane. Sugar cane is the raw material which will be processed in the industry, and then finally we get the sugar. So what is sugar? Is final product. Clear? So processing from raw material to more valuable products is called manufacturing. Clear? So first keyword, production of goods in large quantities. Second keyword, processing. Third one, from raw material to more valuable products. So as they have given example also here, paper is manufactured from wood. Wood is the raw material and paper is the final product. Sugar from sugar cane. Sugar, final product, whereas sugar cane is raw material for sugar. When it comes to iron and steel are like utensils. Our utensils which are made of steel, what is the raw material for it? Iron ore. Whereas aluminium utensils also we have aluminium from bauxite. Clear? So whatever final product we are using, it has a raw material, and this process, the overall process of converting raw material to finished product is done in industries, which is called as manufacturing. So here one interesting point. It's not that only from raw material to finished product. That finished product again can be used as a raw material for another industry. Suppose if you look here, yarn. To an textile industry, yarn is the raw material so that the cloth can be produced. Then what is the raw material for yarn? Cotton. From cotton, yarn is made, and then this yarn is been sent to cotton textile industries. There they will make the final product. So people employed in secondary activities manufacture the primary materials into finished goods. What is the work of the people in manufacturing? They will convert this raw materials, primary material in the sense raw material, into finished product. So the workers employed in car, breweries, textile industries, bakeries fall into this category. Wherever the processing work goes on and raw material is converted into finished product, it is referred to as manufacturing, and the people are involved in there are referred to as people involved in secondary activities. Some people are employed in providing services. Now here comes the three sectors of economy: primary sector, secondary sector and tertiary sector. Let's check this through graph. As you can see in this picture, you have studied in your lower classes also. Sectors of economy are divided into three types, like primary sector. Primary sector in the sense the naturally available products like fishing, naturally available. If you go to a pond, if you do fishing, you will get the fishes. Farming, agriculture, naturally available. Land is available, you will sow the seeds and you will get the crop. Mining, naturally available. You have to dig the earth and you will get the raw material, the iron ore, bauxite, coal. All this comes through mining. So all these which are directly available from nature are referred to as primary sector. Then comes manufacturing, the lesson which we are discussing now. Clear? Manufacturing, also known as secondary sector. Reason secondary sector in the sense primary, first time whatever is available we are converting through process, we are converting into final product, like car factory. Yes, iron ore is the one, aluminium other. So what are they? Those are being sent to a industry where they will do the processing work. Then finally car factory. When it comes to brewery in the sense where beer is made, they'll take agricultural product like grapes, they'll take into industry, they'll convert into beer. Then comes the flour mill, agro-based industry. What happens here? Even flour, wheat naturally available in primary sector, which is taken to industry. There through processing, it is made into flour. So what are all these things? Primary products are being taken to industry, and through process these raw materials are converted into final products. Clear? So primary, secondary, and then comes the third sector known as service sector or tertiary sector, which is not involved in primary like manufacturing the things or production of things. But here this sector, service sector, acts as a link between the primary and manufacturing. Suppose industries need loans to set up industry to purchase the machines, where banking, loans provided by the banking. Retail shops, once the production is done, where to sell the product? In the market, in the retail shops. Restaurants, luxury people, those who want to go with luxurious things, where can we have it? Through restaurants. So the sectors of economy are divided into primary, secondary and tertiary. And today's topic, especially our focus is on the discussion of manufacturing. Okay, how this manufacturing goes on. So in this chapter we are mainly concerned with the manufacturing industries which fall in the secondary sector. Okay, the economic strength of a country is measured by the development of manufacturing industries. If you compare lot many developed countries in the world, the main reason for their development is manufacturing. Like China, lot many products are manufactured in China which are being exported to all over. USA the same condition, Japan same condition. So the country which have invested on manufacturing, they have turned out to be the economically strong countries in the world. Now let's discuss about the importance of manufacturing or significance of manufacturing. Very important question in board exam point of view also. Okay, so manufacturing is considered as the backbone of development of in general and economic development in particular. So if there are lot many things to manufacture, then lot of income can be generated, lot of employment can be generated, then naturally the economy of the country develops. So manufacturing industries not only help in modernizing agriculture. So what is the first point that we can say? Manufacturing industries help in modernizing the agriculture. In what way they modernize? Providing latest equipments, combine harvester, threshers, agricultural equipment, chemical pesticides, what manufacturing all the things which are required to irrigation products. So all these things are manufactured in industry itself. So they are referred to as modernizing the agriculture. Along with that, these industries reduce the heavy dependence of people on agricultural income. They reduce the dependence of people on agriculture. Instead, they shift the focus from agriculture to secondary and tertiary sectors. Let's have a look at the bar graph here, which clearly shows the GDP, means income, how much income is generated, and then employment share. If you look at, like, blue color is for GDP and red color is for employment, means people. So service sector, if you can see, income is more, GDP is more. When it comes to people employed are less, means very less people are involved to give more income. Then comes the case of agriculture. What happens here? So what happened here? The income is very less. When it comes to people, many people are involved here. More people are involved and GDP is very less. When it comes to manufacturing, almost equal proportion here. So what is our top point here? If manufacturing develops, if lot many industries set up, then what happens? The people who are being concentrated in agriculture, like unskilled labor, these can be shifted towards the manufacturing, leading to, because GDP share is the same, people won't be disguised unemployment. We have discussed it in our last classes also. So if this through this focus of extra people shifting towards manufacturing, what happens? Manufacturing will develop, then primary sector will develop, then economy of the country also boost up. So here comes your next point. Reduce the heavy dependence of people on agriculture income by providing jobs in secondary and tertiary sector. This is the importance of manufacturing. Then second point, industrial development is a precondition for eradication of unemployment and poverty from our country. It's true, no? As number of industries will develop, even one industry is set up, some hundreds of people will get employment there. Naturally, unemployment problem can be eliminated. Once a person gets a job, then there is no question of poverty also. So the main philosophy between public sector industry or joint sector ventures in India, this we'll discuss. Like public sector in the sense which are totally under the control of government, joint sector where private and public sector, government, both are combined together, they'll take up the set up the industry. Okay, it was also aimed at bringing down regional disparities by establishing industries in tribal and backward areas. Tribal areas and backward areas, suppose in those areas if industries were set up, then what happens? Those area people, where people are backward area, tribal area, people are suffering, lot many unskilled labor can be found there. Those people will get the employment, then poverty problem is solved, unemployment problem also solved. So next point, export of manufactured goods expands trade and commerce and brings in foreign exchange. So whatever goods are manufactured in our country, it can be exported to other countries. Then what happens? We get lot of foreign exchange, we get to US dollars into our country. So our economy will develop. Then comes the third last point, countries that transform their raw material into a wide variety of finished goods of higher value are prosperous. And try to understand this point. Countries that transform their raw material into a wide variety of finished products. So the countries which are transforming raw material into finished product and then exporting it to other countries, they get more profit than the countries which are simply exporting the raw material. Just a minute, I'll show you the picture, you can understand it more clearly. Now have a look at this picture. Simple maize, this is maize, everyone know. If you go to a market and if you purchase maize, it is of 5 rupees. And if you might have seen in front of our school also, a few people sell this for 10 rupees or 20 rupees. The same maize which is turned into popcorn, final product, the cost is 200 rupees. Yes or no? This is business. So the raw material, suppose if we are exporting raw material, we get only 5 rupees. Instead of that, if we export the final product, we get 200 rupees more income. For that, what happens? We need manufacturing. Okay, manufacturing plays a major role here. So I hope this point is clear to you. So what happens? The India's prosperity lies in increasing and diversifying its manufacturing industries as quickly as possible. Majority of the products in India which we are exporting to other countries are raw material, not the finished product. If we switch from raw material to finished product, if we start exporting finished product, then India also can be one of the richest country. Clear? There are lot many problems are there which we discuss further. The reasons that why India is unable to go for finished product. Now here comes your one more important question. Interdependence of agriculture and industry. You may be asked a question, in what way agriculture and industry are interdependent? Yes, both are interdependent. These both move hand in hand. If you look at agro industries, what is the raw material for agro industries? From there, where they'll get it from agriculture. If they get good harvest, then these industries will work properly, then industries will flourish and agriculture also develops. Okay, this is one way. Major boost to agriculture by raising its productivity. Then how can the agriculture produce more? With the help of industrial products. What are those industrial products? Like irrigation pumps, fertilizers, insecticides, pesticides, plastic, PVC pipes, machines, tools, all these are manufactured in industries. So is it not clear that agriculture and industry go hand in hand? In industries providing material equipment for the industry so that the harvest can be increased. If agriculture harvest is increased, industries will flourish. Thus, the competence of manufacturing industry not only assisted agriculturists in increasing their production, but also made the agricultural production process very efficient. Okay, in the present world of globalization, our industry needs to be more efficient and competitive. As globalization started, goods are being exported to other countries and other country products are imported to India. Liberalization, we will discuss globalization, liberalization process in economics. Okay, so for now you understand that now we are facing the world market. So self-sufficiency alone is not not enough. Means producing goods only for the sake of Indians or only to the level of the capacity to a lower level is not enough. Industries should be competent enough to face the world market. So our manufactured goods must be at par in quality with those in the international market. Only then we are able to compete in the international market. Clear? Hope you have understood. Now today's topic we have discussed about definition of manufacturing, significance of manufacturing, and in what way industry and agriculture are interdependent. If you have any further query, you can message me. Thank you.